actually touch upon some of the basic aspects quickly. Like in terms of the process, what is the process that you either follow or recommend organizations when they are building, for example, let's take a simple case, an IoT product rather than an entire product suite. What is it? Where is it that they can start off? One is the standards. But does the process look like at a high level? Like what can they do one after the other? If the security teams or engineering teams are listening to us, how can they go about it?
So we borrowed from software security a lot because that's what we knew before we entered into this market. So there are some things that we typically do is look at the maturity of the organization, and based on that we suggest how do we go about. I think ideally the first way is to know where you stand. So you do an assessment for the product, and then that gives you a clear idea of where you stand in terms of cybersecurity. And then based on the results, we look at where we should put more focus from a design or a development perspective, and whether there are some things which are actually possible to do or not. Because if you identify something on the hardware, it may not be monetarily possible to change the hardware design, based on whatever costing or maths the vendor does. So those are some of the things that you need to look at, and then you start imbibing those, or shift left, or if there's any other jargon for that, you go to the designing stage, be part of the development team, and start looking at how we can push some of the things from the testing perspective back to development and design. Can we do CI/CD for the firmware scans? Can we do CI/CD for something else? And if there is a hardware change, then discuss with the hardware designing team in terms of how can we fix any of the issues that are already there. Can we fix it in the firmware, or do we need to fix it in the hardware, and so on and so forth? And then goes ahead. Then you need to follow standards. You need to do a lot of other things, which is where there are a lot of guidelines now for specifically IoT. OWASP is still not mature enough, I would say. So if you're looking at IoT security, don't only look at OWASP. Look at other things. So there is an organization called IoT Security Foundation based in the UK. It has come up with the guidelines and has a checklist. It can become a standard as well, but it's not. It's more a set of guidelines, but it gives you a very, very clear perspective of what exactly you have to look at from your within your product to be able to build something that has baseline plus products that will go into critical sector to look at security.
I think that simplifies this a lot, especially for people who are currently doing bits and pieces, but have not, or the teams that have not been able to put the entire thing in a straightforward manner, one-to-one. So how does one thing lead to another, and then how they can eventually start moving towards a more mature ecosystem.